Alright, so today we're going to look at Chapter 3. We're continuing with the geosphere. This is the rock cycle. So your assignment after the test was to fill in the blanks for the rock cycle. So starting up at the corner here, we've got igneous rocks. And igneous rocks go through weathering, transportation, and deposition to give you sediments. Those sediments can go through cementation and compaction, or what we call lithification, to give you sedimentary rocks. Those go through heat and pressure, or what we call metamorphism, to give you metamorphic rocks. Those go through melting, then cooling and solidification, or what we call crystallization, and give you back igneous rocks. Now, it does not go in this one cycle all the time. You can have igneous rocks turned into metamorphic rocks. You can have metamorphic rocks that turn into sedimentary rocks. But this is not a cycle that continues in the same way every single time. So keep that in mind as we learn about igneous rocks for today. So Chapter 3, Section 2, igneous rocks. How they are formed. There are two different kinds. There are intrusive or there are extrusive. The intrusive igneous rocks form beneath the Earth's surface when magma hardens. The extrusive igneous rocks form outside of the Earth's interior, so on the outer part of Earth's surface, on the crust, when lava hardens. Now remember, the difference between magma and lava is where it is. So lava is after it has come out of the Earth. That's when it's on the Earth's exterior. And magma is when it is still inside the Earth. Both are molten rock, but they have a different name based on where they're located. So looking at classification, there's two things that are important for igneous rocks. That's composition, so what they're made of, and their texture. So looking at texture, we have a couple of different types. The first that we're looking at is coarse-grained, so that means it cools down very slowly, and you have a lot of large crystals. So you can clearly see, looking at the image up top, that there are crystals in here of different colors, of different sizes, and you can see that. Whereas fine grain means it's cooled very rapidly, so you get a lot of smaller interconnected minerals. So if you look at the image at the bottom, it all looks like a dark gray. So you really can't tell much about the different minerals inside this rock. Other types of texture, we have glassy, which means it cools so quickly it doesn't have time to form any air bubbles, so it gives that smooth texture. This is an example of obsidian. It's one of my favorites. Porphyritic texture is the fourth and final type, and it has different rates of cooling. So if you look at the porphyritic piece, you have some pieces that are small and interconnected, so you can't really tell the difference between the minerals, and then you have some pieces that are larger. So some of it cools much quicker than other pieces, yet they still solidify into one piece of rock, which is pretty cool. As far as composition goes, we have a few different types of composition as well. We have granitic, which is always going to be light colored, think of quartz and feldspar. And then we have basaltic, which is your dark colored silicate minerals, and plagioclase feldspar. So the one up top is granitic, so think about granite countertops. And then we have basaltic down at the bottom. We also have what's known as andesitic and ultramafic. Andesitic is a mix between that light colored and that dark colored. So a mix between granitic and basaltic. And then we have ultramafic, which is not really any of the above three, but they are composed mostly of iron and magnesium. So ultramafic are going to be your magnetic rocks. So taking a look at this image here, I know it kind of fills up the screen. This is how we classify. So you have all of your textures over on the left side, coarse, fine, porphyritic, or glassy, and then you have your composition over on the right. So we have granitic in the red, andesitic in blue, basaltic in the light gray, and ultramafic in the dark. So if you look at this combination, something that's coarse-grained and light colored, so coarse grained and granitic, would be granite. Okay, if you think about something fine grained that's basaltic, so fine grained followed over to basaltic, you have basalt. And there are some other ones like glassy. It doesn't really have a specific composition, So obsidian or pumice, and I'll show you some examples of obsidian and pumice, especially when you do your lab. But make sure you refer back to this. This is in your earth science textbook, which you guys find in your desks. So for today, go to your textbook, read chapter 3, section 2 in your earth science book. We will have an assignment with igneous rocks, and then if we have time, we'll get to the igneous rock lab as well. And that's it for today.